everybody, John12 back here again with another video, and I'm here to give you my personal thoughts on the Suicide Squad coverage on Empire Magazine. But that being said, if you haven't read or have been on the internet all day today, pretty much Empire Magazine released the cover for the Suicide Squad coverage, and of course, they got some really interesting interviews with David Ayer and Jared Leto talking about the Joker and the movie, and of course, discussing some very awesome stuff that we might be looking into, and of course, some really cool behind-the-scenes images of Enchantress, Jared Leto, and Margot Robbie and Jared Leto together as the characters of Harley Quinn and Joker. But that being said, let's get right down into it. First off, let's talk about the image, the cover art. I freaking love this image. I think it's really badass. This is a very rock star Joker, and of course, a lot of people feel mixed about Jared Leto's Joker. A lot of people hate it, or a lot of people tolerate it. Let's be honest. It's an open book. It's an insanely outspoken open book. I mean, like, a lot of people just aren't digging this new interpretation of the Joker. A lot of people don't like the tattoos. A lot of people are just mixed with it. Me personally, I've grown to like it. I've grown to accept it. It is the Joker that we're going to have to deal with for the rest of this universe, unless he gets blown up or, I guess, bleaches his skin again or freaking cuts off his skin. We'll have to wait and see what happens with the craziness that is known as the Clown Prince of Crime. But that being said, if I had to compare this image to the previous original image we got for revealing the Jared Leto Joker, I think this is a superior one. I mean, granted, it has like the pop art kind of esque look to it. It has a very, Photoshoppy kind of look. It's very colorful, but the image itself, regardless of the background, looks really freaking cool. Jared Leto looks like a badass. He looks very menacing and scary. I would have liked it if he had like a grin, but regardless of any of that, still looks really cool. I like his leathery jacket. I like the details on the tattoos that we didn't really get to see previously. And I also like the touch of the Arkham Asylum sweatpants that he's wearing and the bare feet. I thought that was very a really cool, nice touch. I don't know what place this time is specifically in the movie. It's either, I guess, when he breaks out a freaking Arkham Asylum, or maybe when he's freaking it's just the image. It's a cover art image, but regardless of any of that, still really cool stuff. But let's move off of that and get to some other really cool stuff. David Ayer talking about the movie, really awesome. He's talking about how terrifying Joker is and how crazy and epic this movie is really getting. I'm just really excited. The way he pronounces it is just really badass. And of course, we get Jared Leto talking about the Joker finally, and we've heard him talk a little bit here and there about his interpretation of the Joker, but this is his very first time really discussing the logistics of his Joker, and I think it's really badass. I mean, the way he was just talking about how Joker would react, how he would personally think, and also I liked his comments on how his Joker is really breaking new ground, and how and the way he kind of personally thinks about it is that if you don't really, do something new and original, you're not really breaking new ground. I'm paraphrasing what he technically said, but I just personally like his comments on it. I mean, it's basically him commenting on the fact that he realizes that the rest of the world doesn't accept this Joker, or accepts the tattoos, or accepts the look. However, regardless of any of those personal opinions, we have to, accept the fact that they're doing something new, they're breaking new ground, and this is an entirely different kind of Joker that we've ever seen before, and I like that. I mean, if every Joker interpretation was, the same one as the last, then I feel like it would just completely be pointless. I mean, every actor who's ever portrayed the Joker is drastically different from the last one. I mean, freaking Jack Nicholson was, the polar opposite of Cesar Romero. Heath Ledger was the polar opposite of Jack Nicholson, and of course, Jared Leto will be the polar opposite of all of them, as well. So it's just, I understand where they're coming from, and it's just really cool just to see how this movie's really going to unfold with this new terrifying interpretation of the classic Clown Prince of Crime. And also, I really like that little touch of what Joker really means to him. He feels like Joker is much older than what people think, and how he's so different, and and all that kind of crazy stuff. There's just so many really cool psycho little hints and nods to what David Ayer is talking about, what Charles Roven, the producer, is talking about, and of course what Leto himself is talking about with his new incarnation of the Joker. But minus all that cool stuff, we also got some interesting images from the Empire Magazine coverage. We got some really cool images of Enchantress. I already made a video discussing my personal thoughts on Enchantress, and I personally still think the same thing. She still looks like she's really has a lot more to offer with this movie than maybe we realize. But regardless of any of that, we got a cool image of Harley Quinn, really epic, sexy stuff. And then we got some really wackadoo, crazy images with Jared Leto Joker in the straitjacket talking to none other than possibly Harleen Quinzel before she becomes the Harley Quinn. Because, let's face it, we freaking love Harley Quinn, and this is the first time we're getting the live-action version. I personally cannot wait for that shit. However, I know a lot of people are, mixed with the Suicide Squad project. Let's just be honest here. It may say Suicide Squad, but this is Suicide Squad, aka Joker Harley Quinn movie, plus Batman's in it. That's pretty much what the movie really is. So I think we should just enjoy for what they're trying to do, regardless of any of the other shit. But with all my, personal thoughts thrown aside, I love these images. I think they're really cool. The Harley Quinn stuff is awesome. The Jared Leto stuff is especially awesome. You can obviously tell that Empire Magazine was heavily focused on Jared Leto's Joker. They weren't really focusing on other stuff like, on like the other rest of the cast members like Deadshot or, Killer Croc or any of those characters. And they weren't really focused on the overall landscape of what this movie is and how it's going to play a part with the rest of the DC Extended Universe. They didn't really get into that. It was basically it was Joker mania. That's essentially what they were getting at with this coverage. But to be honest, it's like, what else do you expect? I mean, it's the Joker. Everybody loves the Joker. He's the greatest comic book villain and movie villain of all time. So it makes sense that people would go crazy for it. And I like what they did. Empire, kudos to you for doing some awesome stuff for Suicide Squad, which will be coming out roughly right after, like a month, I guess, like a month or two, a couple months after Batman v Superman, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know the exact release date, but God, I can't wait for this movie. But let me know your personal thoughts in the comment section below. What did you think about the Empire Magazine coverage of Suicide Squad? What are your personal thoughts on David Ayer and Charles Roven talking about the movie and the project? And what are your personal thoughts on Jared Leto's take on this incarnation of the Joker? And also your personal thoughts on the behind-the-scenes images of Harleen Quinzel and Joker, and how do you think that's going to play out in the movie itself, and the origins of Harley Quinn. But that being said, comment below. Let me know what you personally think. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Josh12, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. And I hope you guys enjoyed, and this has been Josh12.